They lead us in the pledge tonight, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. First item on our agenda is public comments. Is there anybody like to speak to the board tonight? There being none, thank you. We'll move on to recognition of our all-state tennis players. And Tony, are you introducing Philip or Phil? Come on up, Phil Harder. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you.
This thing's loud tonight for some reason.
Yeah. Thank you, Chairman Core, Superintendent Behringer, and school board members. I appreciate you having me up here to get to talk about the tennis team and a few things that we got done over the course of our season this year. You know, before I bring up Brianna, who is our all-state and all-conference player, just a few people I'd like to thank. Our administration at the high school, they made it to our home matches. We really appreciate that. So thank you guys. Mr. Behringer, Mr. Foos, and a lot of people in our district were able to come to those home matches. And that's important for us and our kids to see you guys. Tony and Ruth, they do a ton in the activities office for us to make sure our season runs smoothly. Rachel Todd, transportation. This is the first year in, I don't know, 10. We didn't have a bus breakdown. So heck yeah, Rachel, we got it done. We finally got one. So that was cool for us. Eric Pauly and the radio network, they do a lot for us and give us our results out throughout the town. And that's great. Doug Hamill and getting all our courts ready to go and getting them resurfaced this summer. That was really nice. Like thank the school board and him for getting that done. And now Miss Brianna Strauss. So can you come on up? So Miss Brianna played on our girls team. She's a senior. She played #1 singles. She went 6-1 in the conference. She won all conference. And she went 17-4 over the course of the whole season with regionals and state. And she earned herself an all-state recognition at #1 singles. So in tennis, it's an all classification sport. Doesn't matter the number of students in your school. It's 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and 16 teams. She got 5th, 6th place consolation semis. And for tennis, that's an all-state recognition. And these cool statuettes I showed you guys over the last few years, we keep doing them. They're super fun. The kids love them. We post them in the high school in the foyer. We have a little window there. And then I also get one for Brianna to take home and she can keep it forever. And so not only does she get to take one, but now there's one sitting in our display case, which is pretty cool. It's a tradition that we brought back, something that we used to do in Green River a long time ago. So maybe some other teams will pick up that tradition too. That'd be cool. Brianna had a great season. Our girls team had a great season. They really did well. Every member of the girls team made it to a consolation championship at the regional tournament. So all 5 positions. And then at state, her and our 3 doubles team made it the farthest. And it was a good season. Our boys were rebuilding. We lost 7 of 8 this year from last year's graduation. And so we had a lot of JV move up into varsity, and hopefully next year they do better, but we're super proud of them. I'm not sure if Andy made it tonight, but this is an award that we presented to him last night at our banquet. We had a banquet at the high school, and all of you know Andy. He's a district guy. He's been here for many years. He's coached a lot of our athletes, a lot of our students, and everybody loves him. He's just a lovable guy. Everybody looks up to him. This last year, he was awarded the Wyoming Coaches Association Coach of the Year for tennis. So for all the tennis coaches in the state, he was awarded the Assistant Coach of the Year. And we presented this with him last night, and it was a super cool award because nobody from Green River's gotten it before, and we thought that was a cool thing, and I wanted to at least show the board that he got that. And that's it for me tonight. So thank you, school board.
All right. Congrats, Brianna. Congratulations, Brianna. Good job. Next up is a recognition of our All-State golfer and Carly. Coach, welcome.
Good evening, Chairman Core, Superintendent Behringer, and Board of Trustees. It's an honor to be here every fall, and I've actually been here for the past several seasons consistently. And a big part of that is the depth of our program, but also the strength of our leaders. And I'm going to bring up two. I was told I could also recognize our all-conference golfers as well. So I'm going to bring up Miley Mealy and Isabel Salas. I'm also going to just echo everything that Coach Harder said. I appreciate everybody that has supported us through the season. We were able to host an incredible conference tournament. We had everybody out there supporting us. Even Superintendent Behringer was following along with the group, helping score. And it was just a cool experience to see the community, not only within the school district, out at the golf course, just everybody kind of pulled together. And you saw the commitment and appreciation that we had. And I really valued that, and I want to point this out so I don't forget, but a big reason why that was so successful was my assistant coach, Danielle Salas. She was planning things from the get-go, and she's a major planner. She'll never accept that kind of credit, but she really does deserve it, as well as my assistant, Eddie Salas. I brought them on board 5 years ago because I knew they had more knowledge in golf than I did. And I would not have done that if they hadn't been for the program and the betterment of the kids. And they've done that over the past 5 years. They've transformed us. So to note our two golfers, it kind of shows the difference here is that Isabel came in with lots of knowledge and experience. And I have my Letterman jacket because I made a promise to her as a freshman that if she continued to show her success and made a big push at the end her senior season, I would wear my Letterman jacket with her. And the goal was a state title. And while she didn't quite make it, she was strokes off again. I do believe I can stand up here uncomfortably with her just to showcase the difference in the abilities that people have and the strengths that they have. I was a jack of all trades, master of none kind of kid. And she is absolutely a master of golf and everything she does. She has data and stats that Coach Salas could run off the top of her head like no problem, but she won't because she's her own child. But she has records after records after records for the Green River High School program. She had the lowest scores consistently through her entire 4 years. She had the lowest average. She had the highest finishes. And to rephrase that, she had the closest to first place finishes, second place finishes for every tournament she was in. She has our lowest record score in a single tournament. And on top of that, I was able to speak about her earlier this year, how she excels as a leader, how she is outstanding academically. But a big part of what's so cool about tonight, her having her teammate here, is Miley started with us with a little bit of experience playing as a youngster with her family. She was hungry for it and she wanted to work for it. And that's what they have in common, is they both have that work ethic, that drive. And I think that carried them both into a successful season that I hope that they're both very proud of. The outcome in the postseason may not have been what they wanted because they pushed really hard. They played all summer long. Their scores were lower than what they showed at state. Different things came up that maybe caused it to be a different outcome than what they wanted, but just like everything I have on my jacket, the things that they'll have on their jackets, it's not necessarily about that one defining moment. It's about the work you put into it, the time and the effort. And Isabel definitely was a leader for us the past 4 years, 5 years really, to showcase that to these kids, the youngsters that wanted it so badly. And what's really the best part again is that Miley is showcasing that to her younger teammates as well. So it's like a full circle encompassing event to see your leader kind of pass off that torch and to show the kids what the program is all about and to see them be successful and to know that they want to be the best, but really that they need to understand their showcase of character and of work ethic and just the nature that they brought to the program. For someone like Isabel Salas, I don't want to get emotional, but it's going to be hard to see her not standing up here with me from year to year. But on that same note, she's going to be here with me from year to year because she's passing it on, and I'm going to see Miley up here with me from year to year. And these girls have overcome a lot. They've carried it over to the boys. The boys are hungry and pushing and constantly asking Isabel, what can we do? Miley's constantly cheering them on, and it's just what the whole program is all about. So maybe rambling a little bit, but that's what this season felt like for me, was just that emotional triumph for all of us. So I appreciate both of you and all of you, and I just want to say thank you.
All right, congratulations. Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Give me a break. Can you draw somebody that's not an administrator in there?
Mary Vaughn, Washington Elementary. Woo.
All right.
Gonna be a rough day at Washington.
Okay, next on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. I need a motion, please.
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Brenda to approve the agenda. I need an addition to the agenda. Amendment 9.06, letter to the county commissioners. Got to get that amendment, please.
I'll motion to approve the amendment.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by David. All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All in favor of the amended agenda? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next is our consent agenda items. Anything on there you'd like to take off? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the consent agenda items as listed.
Second.
Moved by Brenda, second by Ashley. Any, no discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is our report on McKinnon meet and greet. Myself and Dan and Brenda. Is that right? The three of us made that nice little trip out to McKinnon. It was a couple of parents showed up. Went well, no issues. So it's good. You guys want to add anything? Okay. Next is report on the WSBA Fall Roundup meeting that was held September 18th in Kemmer. Anybody that went with that, like to speak to that? Go ahead. Tom?
Oh, it's just always nice to hear Brian Farmer. I could sit and listen to that guy all day long. He's so smart and he really knows the budget process, and he's a good leader for the Wyoming School Board Association. It was a good meeting.
Was.
Came home with COVID, but other than that,
Great. Yeah, so
Lincoln County COVID.
I did bring the handouts if you want to look at them. They have the most recent Craig report, basically the financial reports that said the state should be in pretty good shape to fund our school systems. So
Okay, great.
it's really good. Kemmer's a ways, but
Yeah.
really makes you thankful.
Appreciate it when it's here.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, thanks. Next, a reminder of the Wyoming School Board Association Annual Conference coming up on the 15th, 16th, 17th. I got a request today from the WSBA to put somebody in to be our voting delegate. And I talked to Brenda. Brenda's planning on attending, so I put her in and she'll be our voting delegate. I believe we get 2 votes on each issue. So thank you, Brenda, for doing that. Next is approval of the certified resignation. Dr. Foos.
Thank you, Chairman Core, Superintendent Behringer, trustees. We have one resignation tonight for Jennifer Curry. I would just like to clarify, this is not a middle of the school year or after the first quarter. This is a result of her, resigning from last year's school year. So I just wanted the patrons to know that she didn't leave us midstream.
All right. Need a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Second. Moved by Brenda, second by David to approve the certified resignation of Jennifer Curry, sped teacher at Monroe. Any discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is a report on the YTOP ACT results. Doctor, I want to call you Dr. Behringer.
You shouldn't. Okay. I have 8 slides here to go through our YTOP ACT scores. You're going to see some things that are not typical of our district. And first, I want to say, it's not a teacher issue. It's a more of a system issue. And I'm going to talk about how we've gone about addressing this problem. So our attendance rate is back up over 90%. But what I did is I went back to 17-18, and you could see that typically attendance rates, which is pretty normal for
schools like Green River should be 92-93% in that range for student attendance. It usually is better at the elementary than at the high school for various reasons, but our district did go up a little, but it's still significantly lower. We had a few years in there that were affected by COVID. The 1920, the rate, I would guess part of the reason that rate's high is because they were home the last quarter and attendance was a little, nobody was on the streets or anything. It was pretty quiet everywhere. 2021, we had better attendance rates because in the 21-22, our attendance rates dropped. But this is fairly common around schools across the nation, trying to get those attendance habits back into the way where they should be.
And just to clarify, the attendance rate is the attendance of people that took the test, correct?
No, that's attendance of our kids throughout the school year. So our kids, as a collective student body, were present 90.5%.
So the attendance rate is part of this whole picture, or?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. When you can't, when you miss a lot of school, it makes it hard all the way around. Our performance rates, you can see across the top, I have highlighted, it's in bold. You can see for the first time, we partially met expectations at Harrison. We exceeded at McKinnon. We did not meet expectations at Monroe. We did not meet expectations at Truman. We exceeded expectations at Washington. We partially met them at Lincoln. In Expedition and Green River High, we met those requirements. The 4 schools that partially or did not meet have to fill out a improvement plan, which is due November 1st. I will make sure you guys get a copy of, see what that is. There's a lot that goes into meeting expectations and not meeting expectations. So there's quite a bit they have to do. And once they get that done, I will share that with you after we submit that. So you can see last year our 3rd grade was significantly lower than the state average for the first time, and for as far back as you could see. This year, 2 years ago, last year, our 3rd and 4th graders were lower than the state average, which was something we weren't used to seeing. And when I say it's a system problem, it was across the board that we had these issues with 3rd and 4th grade. And you can see the scores overall. In ELA, we're above the state average, but we had some scores in there that were significantly lower than the state average. And the state average for 3rd and 4th grade has dropped some too. So even though there's a drop, ours is more so than should be. So what we met with the principals last spring when we got these scores, and they were very quick to point out what we needed to do differently. And so some of that test is in writing, and we hadn't had any sort of training for writing in a while. And writing's important regardless of whether it's on the test or not. But we did step up to writing training this fall. We brought in Shelley Schaub to retrain and update us on LLI. And we are piloting 2 programs and 2 phonics programs in the primary grades right now. We have 2 schools doing 1 program, 2 schools doing another one, and we'll narrow that down to 1 at the end of this year. Our math white top was a little better. We still finished below the state average in 3rd grade. And we had another area that we're below the state average. I don't remember where that was at, but you can look, let's see, it is. Oh, I don't see it. Oh, it is the 10th grade. We're just 0.2% below the state average there. But overall, we were above the state average in math scores. So that was a little better. Science, we test 4, 8, and 10 in the grade levels on science, and you can see those scores there. We were did better than the state average overall. A little below the state average in 4th grade, but above the state average in the other 2 score tested. ACT test was probably our bright spots because a few years ago, we were behind the state average, average test score. And you can see for the second year in a row, we are above the state average with a composite score of 19.2. Green River High School actually was 19.8 on that test score. And you can see we were ahead of the state average in English and in math. 0.2 behind in reading and ahead of the state average in science. So you can see overall the ACT test is showing some positive growth. So moving forward, we need to, I wouldn't say we were kind of caught off guard by the scores we for third and fourth grade, but we should have done something sooner. But we need to communicate out to our community, our stakeholders, our schools. There's a lot of good things going on. The test scores are one part of measure of success, but there's some other measures of successes too. We need to do a better job of communicating that. One of the things we need to we're working on this year is making sure the state has got their standards out. They've reduced them, as you've heard, if you've read reports. So we need to make sure that what we're doing matches what the state standards are, so our kids know what they're going into when we do take these Y-top tests. And we need to support our staff through the work in the professional development throughout this year. The writing training, we need to continue with that. We need to continue, with the LLI training to keep the level of literacy. So there's things we need to do. And that is what I have. So if you have any questions.
Questions? Comments? I'll start it off, I guess. Overall, I'm pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
I know you are. Anytime we have two schools that are not meeting, it's a concern. And two schools that are partially meeting. So I'm looking forward to remediation, I guess is the word.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we work with some pretty competitive people, so I think you'll see some. I will say you will see some improvement. Again, it's not a teacher issue. When you look at those scores, it's a system issue, and I think we're fixing that system.
Okay, good. Anybody else?
Well, I think here probably about, 8 months ago, we received information from teachers that we weren't doing a phonics program.
That wasn't accurate. We were, we were not
Implementing it.
implementing it properly. Yeah.
Yeah, very disappointing to have not meet some.
And definitely proud of the schools that are exceeding. That's awesome. It's good stuff.
Yep.
It just, the orange jumps out at you.
That's why they make it orange.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Thank you.
Yep.
Next is the calendar update, and Brenda and Ashley have been working hard on that. So is Craig. So is a bunch of other people. So you guys want to add something where we're at, what the process is?
Do you want me to?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I thought the last meeting went well. Everybody kind of proposed different calendars, and then next time we're going to get together and see where those different start and end dates take us and discuss what's important academically for the schools to succeed.
Yeah, and we're putting together those calendars now in a little cleaner format than, because they were all kind of hand done. So it'll be, and we will meet. I haven't sent out the meeting invite, but I think it's,
Next
I'm not
Wednesday.
it's not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after next.
Okay, cool. Thanks for your hard work on it. Appreciate it. Next is approval of the quick claim deed. Craig?
It didn't get in your packet because we had some issues. So what I'd like to do is just show this to you here and then come back next time with the price of the property. We did go back and look at it. It's behind the shop area of the high school, and to the north side of that property, we did something similar with those property owners several years ago, where they could buy an extension of about 25 feet. This extension would not interfere with anything we have. It still maintains a buffer zone. And there's two places back there that would potentially be able to purchase that land from us. We just need to get I don't have what the market value for property is up in that area, which I need to get. So anyway, this letter got to you late, so I would not.
Yeah, that's good because that's the first time I've seen it.
Yep. So,
Okay, so we'll deal with this at the November meeting.
yep.
Okay, great.
Need a motion to table it.
Yeah, I think that's on the agenda. Motion to table this, please, till
Motion
November.
to table the quitclaim deed.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Brenda to table this to the November meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. Consider approval of the revisions of policy GCBDA, the certified stacks sick leave. Dr. Foos.
Thank you, Chairman, Core Trustees. These first two, we're just asking for an amendment. As you can see, the adjustments. A few months ago, we added aunts and uncles to the bereavement policy, and we need to address the immediate family language in these next two as well.
Okay, I need a motion, please.
All motion to approve.
Second. Moved by Dan, second by David to approve the GDBDA amendment. This is just an amendment, so.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any discussion on this? Pretty self-explanatory. All those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Next, consider approval of the revision of policy GDBDA, support staff sick leave and emergency leave.
It's just the mirror policy with the same revisions. Thank you for your consideration.
Need a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved by Brenda, second by Ashley. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Next, consider approval of the new policy IDA, temporary virtual education.
This one's up for third reading. Lots of input on this. Thanks for the work from the association to attorneys to the board to teachers. A lot of feedback on this policy, and hopefully we don't have to pull this thing off and get some inclement weather this year. But as you know, weather seems to be changing a little bit, and we've been using some snow days. So here's the third reading for this policy, and thank you for everybody's work.
Okay, just for the board's sake, we had first reading back in February and March, and remember they wanted to take it back and do some more revisions to it. So that's why it's on third reading. You guys okay with that? Okay, I need a motion, please.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Brenda to approve on third reading IDA, the temporary virtual education policy. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, consider approval of, I guess, the certified staff sick leave. We already done that, right? Okay, perfect. Oh, and then we just did the IDA. All right, perfect. Next is 9.606, which we added to the agenda, the letter to the county commissioners. Basically for the public's transparency, this is a letter to the county commissioners that basically states Sweetwater County School District number 2 is writing to express our concern about the condition of County Road 1 to McKinnon. We believe the road has become very unsafe for our employees and stakeholders. The district has employees who live in Green River and travel to County Road 1 to teach at McKinnon Elementary School. We also have a teacher that lives in McKinnon and actually drives into Green River. And we also have a bus that runs that route daily during the school year, and we send additional teachers and staff to McKinnon 4 days a week. We request that school district number 2 be kept updated on the process to fix County Road 1 and the county's plans for repairs. We understand that you have been working with Rachel Todd, our transportation director. School district number 2 is committed to working with the county to find solutions to improve County Road 1. Thank you for your time and consideration. Brenda, you had a chance to talk to Mary Tolman, and she requested we probably do something like this.
Right, so they're in the process of doing a report on the road, and that report will be done the end of November. And I told her that the little roller coaster ride that we took last month out there, it's a safety issue. And she said that it would behoove us to send a letter that it's a safety issue for our students and our teachers.
Yeah, and I did talk to the engineer, Andy Hooten, today and let him know we were sending the letter, and he thought it was a good idea as well. So I need a motion to approve the letter to send to the commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ashley, second by David. Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, superintendent and board comments. I'm gonna start with Tom tonight. Thomas, you're up.
Well, let's see, I don't have a whole lot. First of all, the best program at Washington, I talked about this before, but Alan, thank you for putting that whole thing together. Danielle Kendall, those of you that don't know what that is, it's a very specialized program and those people are amazing. So I want to thank the Green River Police Department for all that they do. We had a drill, relocation drill today, and the entire police force was there. So they go out of their way to help us out. During that drill, TJ called me a little bit after the drill, and we have an issue with handicap access getting from the high school. And that brings up, it just happened to be, I talked to Dustin Shilcox today, wheelchair accessible issues that we have. And I think we need to take a look at that across the district. I think we may have a shortage of handicap parking spots. I think we have just that relocation drill today, and talking with Dustin, I think we need to take a look at district-wide what we can do to make that better for those that are wheelchair bound. And then along with our issues with writing, I know we had Dennis Matthew, an author, was here the other day. And that was an amazing program. So anyway, we're doing great things. I just want to make sure we focus on all the good things we're doing. I know we're a little disappointed with some test scores, but we're doing a lot of great things in this district, and we need to focus on the good things and deal with the bad.
Okay, thank you, Tom. David? I don't have anything to. Okay, Brenda?
Just a busy month, Kimmer and McKinnon, and looking forward to seeing the improvement plan for the 4 schools and getting those scores back up. It's always nice to be in the green.
Okay, Ashley?
Yeah, I just wanted to send condolences to Kathy McCullough, and her and Tom served so many years in our district. So our thoughts and prayers are with her. Also, I thought great job with homecoming. I know it keeps the high school super busy and the other schools that support too, but I know those activities, all those kids are super busy and their teachers and admin. So thank you for that. Also, thank you to Toronto Valley. Yesterday, they came and did a finance thing and opened up some conversations at our house about when they're on their own and how they can spend their money and if they have insurance, things like that. So it's a great thing that Toronto Valley does for those seniors. And congratulations on nearing the end of the quarter, and time goes by really fast. But thank you, everyone.
All right, thanks, Ashley. Dan?
I'd like to thank Phil Harder for all his work. Being a 4-year tennis kid, playing side by side with him means a lot. I want to see the update program on the test scores to keep those up. But other than that, let's just keep the school year rolling and see what happens.
All right, thanks, Dan. Mark?
Well, everybody's covered it, so thanks for everybody's hard work.
All right, Craig?
I received a phone call yesterday as I was heading out of the building, and usually when you get phone calls at 4:30, they're not very good. But this was a good phone call. It was a parent from I keep we're picking on Washington, but it was a parent from Washington that says, we need to do something for this teacher, Jessica Flores, who teaches 2nd grade there, because her kid is in that class. And before they moved to Green River, they couldn't get him to school. He was crying all the time and he hated school. And now he can hardly wait to get to school. He loves his teacher. He loves his school. So short of buying her flowers, which would be out of bounds, I'm just going to say, good job, Jessica Flores. From a family, I think she probably knows who they are. So I did encourage the lady to share her conversation with her personally, but good job, Jessica, for making us look good.
All right. And I'm going to leave on a positive note too. And I'm glad you brought this up because I've been meaning to say this, but sometimes we get bogged down a little bit on scores and all of that other stuff, but success stories. I see a success story in October every year up hunting. And his name's Dustin. And I know, Alan, you had this child that cried, didn't want to go to school. And he's now 27, I think, years old. And he's wheelchair bound and doesn't speak very well. And I don't know what the disease or whatever. But Alan, every time I see that kid, I think of you and what you did to make that kid where he's at today. And I know we have a lot of those success stories, kind of like what you said. So even though I may have sounded disappointed, but there's some good stuff too. So, all right, we got a couple of things we need to deal with. We have personnel issue we need to deal with. And number two, we have a litigation update. So I need to go into executive session. I do not anticipate we'll have any decisions to make after the executive session. So can I get a motion, please?
Second.
Moved by Brenda, second by Ashley, to go into executive session, discuss litigation and personnel. All those in favor? Opposed, motion Moved by Tom, second by David. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Meeting's adjourned. Thanks for your attendance tonight. Appreciate it.